So I'm gonna research some technologies. Since we're trying to escape the atmosphere, we probably want like these kinds of parts, like engines and fuel. So that's good. This will give us like the 1.25 meter decoupler. Is what that is. An antenna, a thermometer. Getting like text that unlocks science parts is generally a good idea. Okay, we want a heat shield because we're going to be escaping the atmosphere. We'll get that. We can get more fins, but strictly speaking, we don't need them because we already start with like these basic fins, which are probably enough. They might be enough to keep our craft from flipping. It's likely not absolutely necessary that we need better rocket fins, or bigger rocket fins, whatever. We get a radial decoupler here, which is cool. We don't have enough science points to get anything else anyways. We only have 18 in these. Okay, this one costs 18 actually, but I don't know. I'll hold off on getting it for now just because I don't want to waste science points. All right, so now we want to make a rocket that escapes the atmosphere. Orbiting Kerbal is something that's gonna like take a bit more time to get the tech for. Okay. So because we're trying to escape the atmosphere, we most likely need a heat shield for re-entry, so we're gonna get one. Then we're gonna attach a decoupler. There's two ways you can detach them. This one adds a fairing, which kind of extrudes out of the rocket, which is like a bit ugly, or subjectively ugly. It's kind of a matter of opinion whether you think this is ugly or not. If you think this is ugly, your opinion is valid. If you think this is ugly, your opinion is also valid. They're not great solutions because realistic rockets are more like aerodynamically, how do I say this? Real life rockets would not have a ring poking out the side of the spacecraft like this. Nor would they have the heat shield exposed on the outside of the spacecraft. But this is a bit more aerodynamic looking, which is kind of more in line with what real life rockets are like. So, I don't know, I sometimes prefer this method of attaching the decoupler. Okay. So we can either use this SRB, which will give us almost 1400 or 1400 meters per second of like ground delta V, I think this is. This is altitude. It's the same though. That's maybe enough to escape the atmosphere, so I guess we'll try that. Once again, we'll let Valentina fly this one. Okay. Launch. Tilt the rocket a bit so that it lands in the ocean. This thing's gonna go really fast and accelerate really quickly because we're using a solid rocket booster, which are very OP. Wow, that actually put a lot of aerodynamic pressure on like the rocket. We're in the upper atmosphere, we're in the upper atmosphere, yay! Observe mystery goo. Yay! The goo's getting very cold if you had time to read that. Do I care if you had time to read that, dear viewer? I don't know. But yeah, like the freaking goo is getting cold. Okay, we can just like rotate the rocket here. Decouple. I'm gonna quick save real quick because this is dangerous. Oh, we can't EVA while in flight. Okay, we'll have to upgrade the astronaut complex. Valentina is like pretty chill right now. She's just kind of like focused on what's going on, I guess. It's dangerous, but you can do like an EVA while in flight in the atmosphere. Like the game will let you do that. I think we escaped the atmosphere. We did. And we can't take EVA reports, which sucks. Okay, so yeah, it says we completed the contract, aka the mission. Contracts and missions in this game are the same thing. How high did we get? Okay, we're already like close to apoapsis. We're like really close to apoapsis. Observe mystery goo. The goo seems to have clumped into a spear and appears to have become brittle. So, because I'm just kind of like an impulsive doofus, I should have upgraded the astronaut complex, or should have tried to before attempting this, because then I'd be able to do the EVA reports in orbit during this mission. And generally speaking, you want to collect as much science each mission as possible, like do as much experiments as possible each mission, because then otherwise you're going to have to do more missions, and each mission takes a significant amount of time in this game. So yeah, like each mission in this game takes like a significant amount of time, especially the farther you go from Kerbal. So like you don't really want to be doing more missions when you don't have to, because the more missions you do, the more time you're going to be spent playing the game, and you're just kind of wasting your time if you're doing experiments in other missions that you could be doing in like fewer missions, basically. So concentrate your experiments to fewer missions as much as possible. Okay, we're going to deploy our parachute here, because it's like the icon was white, now it's yellow. And I think it's yellow because it's deployed. 1,000-meter deployment altitude I think is a bit risky, or it feels a bit dangerous with like the parachute, but it's safe, I think. It just feels dangerous because you're getting so close to the ground. Just gonna okay. The game says we're about to crash, but that just means we're about to land, really. And we have splashdown. Let's recover the vessel. Okay, so we got 4.5 science, 9 science, 10 science, 8 science, all from each experiment, for a total of like 31 science earned. So now we have 65 science. Let's upgrade the astronaut complex. Maybe I should, I don't know, I'll just do that. I'm gonna waste time typing. So yeah, let's upgrade the astronaut complex. It will cost us 75 grand. Boom. So I think the second upgrade you usually get is like the tracking station upgrade, because you will need this when you go to the moon, to Kerbal's moons. There's also like, if you upgrade mission control, I think you get like the maneuver tool for some reason, even though there's like an upgrade to one of these buildings that like tells you that you like get the maneuver tool from that. Anyways, it's weird. What missions have we got? We still have orbit Kerbal. Yeah, let's not worry about any of these. We don't need to worry about it. Let's just make an orbital rocket. Or, well, we'll research some tech, and then we'll make an orbital rocket. So we get the Reliant, we get the Thumper, we get the FL-T200. These respectively are a liquid fuel engine, a solid rocket booster, and a fuel tank. Having bigger fuel tanks is better because it makes your rocket less noodly. If you don't want your rocket to wobble, you should get bigger fuel tanks, because bigger fuel tanks means fewer fuel tanks, and just with the way parts attach in KSP, physics can be weird sometimes. I hope I don't screw up the playthrough with this, but I think I'm gonna get basic rocketry. Not basic rocketry, general rocketry. No, I don't need it. That's the thing, I don't need it. Okay, here's the thing. With a bunch of these fuel tanks, swivel, and radially decoupled SRBs, it should be possible for me to get into orbit of Kerbal. So I think I'll research this. I'll just leave that for now. Let's get patched conics so that we can see our orbit. Alright, now we're gonna make a bigger rocket. We need a bigger rocket, so we're going to make one. So we don't have auto strut. You don't get auto strut until you unlock regular struts. So what we're gonna do is we're kind of gonna cheat here. We're gonna do rigid attachment, and that will basically mean that these kind of function as like a singular part, basically, physics-wise. I don't know if that can cause your rocket to break apart faster, but it's like kind of like a workaround for not having auto strut. So at this point, because our rocket is getting taller, we're gonna like probably want bigger fins. However, the thing is this is fine because the swivel has gimbal. And I'll probably talk later about how the swivel compares to the Reliant when we unlock the Reliant engine. Spoiler alert, Reliant engine kind of sucks, but I'll talk about why later on. Like, attach these. These nose cones, like, they're okay aesthetically speaking, but the stripes are like a bit too fancy. So what you can do is you can change the color of them to make them like a solid color. Hang on. I'm gonna change the freaking SLs here. Make the rocket look a bit different. And yeah, that kind of looks more rockety. Like, looks more like a rocket. More like a real life rocket. So yeah, to get into orbit, we need, I think, about 3,000 meters per second of delta V at like sea level. Without accounting for the atmosphere, we only need like 2,800, but let's maybe, no, we're gonna stick to that. Okay, let's do a bit of math here. That might be enough, I don't know. That's not really enough to get to orbit. Yeah, that's like enough delta V, I think. Okay. This rocket looks a bit dangerous, so I'm just gonna kind of cheat. I'm gonna just attach fins diagonally. It's not really like very like aesthetically pleasing, but it works, so yeah. If Jeb somehow dies, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to forgive myself, but we'll risk it. I'll probably just use quick saves to be safe. Okay, so yeah, check your staging right before launch. This is close to 3,000 meters per second of delta V in total, so this should be enough. Let's just crank the thrust limiter up a bit. Yeah, let's launch this. Ah, shoot. This is a problem that you can run into at this point in the game. We want exactly 30 parts, I think. Now our rocket weighs too much. Okay. You know what? Don't save. It'll just auto-save, I think. We can't upgrade the VAV. Shoot. Can we upgrade the launch pad? We can, but it's expensive. Like, we need money, basically. This is one of the reasons why most people just do science mode playthroughs. So they don't have to worry about money. Nobody likes worrying about money. Not even rich people. I think this unlocks the part temporarily. I think this lets us use the part. Okay. How much does the rocket cost? We're gonna kind of like cheat. This is sort of scamming the freaking contract people. This rocket costs 12,000 Kerbal. Okay, you know what? Let's just research this, because this lets us, like, this helps us cover the part problem. It helps us cover, like, the too many parts issue. Okay, I think the rocket is good. I think it's ready. So let's launch it. I'll quick save at the start just to like make sure that like we can revert the flight back to that point if something bad happens. Because Jebediah is like the world's most famous Kerbal. So like we don't want him to die. We want to keep Jeb. Alright, it kind of turns a bit too early. Oh, okay. Rocket controls a bit like weird. Okay, we're gonna do our gravity turn now. Hold down because we're accelerating really quickly. And hopefully this will be enough to get us into orbit. Yeah, I like forgot to turn. Talking and playing games at the same time is difficult. What's our apoapsis look like? Okay, we need to cut the throttle here. This is a really sloppy gravity turn. I guess we need to wait until we're at our apoapsis now, or like until we're like above 70,000 for maximum fuel efficiency. Normally I do gravity turns better than this. Let me see if I can do an EVA report. You're starting to feel like you should get back into the ship. And yes, that is a very good idea, because not being in the ship on a suborbital trajectory or in the atmosphere is like a very bad idea. It is better to burn at apoapsis, so we're gonna burn at apoapsis. Hopefully we have just enough fuel to get into orbit. If not, we're probably gonna try this mission again. Do we have enough fuel? We have enough. We have enough Delta V. Oh my goodness. Heck yeah. We did it. We're in orbit of Kerbal. Yay. And what's kind of neat about being in orbit is we can like do biome specific EVA reports, I think. Let's just take all the data. Yeah, EVA report, space just above Kerbal's water. Very much space right now. The sky seems to be mostly below us. So it's like a new crew report. How are we gonna get back down? I think we're gonna wait until we're at like apoapsis, or like we're about here. This is a good place to deorbit, I think. So we're gonna do that. Okay, we're gonna stop a little early because we don't have a lot of fuel, so we might not be able to like fully deorbit without the assistance of the atmosphere. Okay, that looks good. Let's just use all our fuel because why? Well, no. Probably shouldn't have used all our fuel. But it's fine. Let's see if we can get an EVA report here because we're over the desert. Yes. Take data. Go back inside the command pod to store the experiment. So yeah, this hack, this is kind of like a trick you can do, I guess, where if you take the experiments from outside the command pod and then like do more from outside the command pod, you can then like store them all. I think that's how it works. I don't know. I'm talking quickly, so I'm not like, I might be talking faster than I'm thinking. Yeah, we got all like the science. We got like 3 different EVA reports and like a crew report, I believe. Let's quick save because the mission's going well, I guess. And then we'll just like deorbit. We don't really need SAS because the heat shield will stabilize our spacecraft. Alright, so yeah, let's fast forward here. And chances are good that we're gonna like touch down over like land. Normally you wanna like touch down like over water, because with water you can like impact at a slightly faster speed before it damages your spacecraft. Can we not land on the mountains? That would be very bad. We're not gonna land on the mountains. We're gonna land on the hills, I think. Can you use the parachute? One thing you can do is you can click this to see how high you are over the land instead of the water. It like defaults to like the water. Parachute will deploy based on how high up you are over the land. Jeb is currently filled with mild awe and wonder. And now he's like, oh, the mission ended. Oh well. Doing like an EVA report. The spacesuit was 100% necessary. I don't care what you say, game. It was 100% necessary. Can you imagine walking here? Like, what, do you think Kerbals have cars? No, they don't. They only have spaceships. They invented rockets and spacecraft before they invented the wheel. I mean, those are pretty good priorities if you ask me. Space is definitely more important than driving. Okay, so we got 40 science, some funds. I think because we completed the funds contract, we now have like 200,000 Kerbucks, space bucks, whatever the heck you want to call them. Jeb leveled up. Did Valentina level up? I actually... No. Valentina didn't gain any levels. Wow. Yeah, this game's level up system is a bit weird. It's like, it seems to be milestone based. Kerbalnauts get to like level 1 when they reach orbit. And then once they like get to like the moon, they reach level 2. And then I don't know when they get to level 3. Probably something like get to another planet. Just quick save. Alright, I'm gonna go check the time real quick because I don't have my phone with me. Alright, I just got back from checking the time. It's like 8 o'clock now. I'm probably just gonna do like a jump cut here because I still feel like playing. I'm like kind of tired. But like I still feel like playing the game. So if you enjoyed this part, please give it a like. Consider subscribing to my channel because that helps encourage me to make more videos and it supports my channel. If you thought the video was awesome, hype that shit. If you happen to find the video within like the first week of it being uploaded and you decide to like it, give it a hype. Yeah, I'll see you all next time, folks. I'll see you all next time. Peace.